As I introduced myself last night, I have no experience in mosquitoes or Wolbachia, but I have run quite a number of risk analyses, and I'm here today representing CSIRO as a resource assistant. That I'll be showing you how the different methodologies we'll be using to do the risk analysis and what they mean and the different steps, but we actually won't be running the risk analysis. That will be part of the core expert team. So let's keep running over here. So what is a risk analysis? Now, a risk analysis only looks at the negative aspects of an event occurring. So you must get that clear. It's only the negative, it's not the benefits. And the first step in a risk analysis is you must define an endpoint. So what is the aim for us being in this workshop? Why are we here? And an endpoint for a risk analysis is that it's an adverse event that we do not want to occur. Yeah. Okay, so there's a number of steps in a risk analysis. I've just briefly, this is an overview of them, so I'm just going to run through them very quickly, but then we'll actually go through step by step and identify what each step is. So the first one is hazard mapping. It's brainstorming to identify all the hazards that could occur for your given endpoint. And then once you have a list of hazards, it could be, you could have 100 or so, you don't know. It doesn't matter how many you have, but then you can start looking at them and refining them. Is it really important to have those 100? Or can you actually combine them? Are some of them quite similar that you can actually bring them together? And so you refine your list to bring it down to a much more usable list of hazards. Once you have your hazards and you agree with your hazards, and then you want to bring them together for the risk analysis. So in this case, we use a Bayesian network. Now, I'm going to be doing another talk later on today about what a Bayesian network is, so you don't have to worry too much about the detail of it. It's just if you're not familiar, it's just a model that basically looks very much like a conceptual model, brings all your hazards together in the end to reach that end point. And then a Bayesian network, the way it works is what's behind it are probabilities. So it's a conditional probabilities that's under each of those hazards. So what happens when an event occurs given something else happens? And so we're going to be asking you to give us those probabilities during the course of this workshop. And then after that, we want to know the consequences of the score. So Marnie showed you the figure before about likelihood and consequence to give you overall risk, and that's so we need to understand, well, given if a hazard does occur, what is the consequence? What is the score for that consequence? And that will give us, when we bring likelihood and consequence together, that will give us overall risk. So let's go in a bit more detail. So your first point, you defined your endpoint. So this is really important because you really need to know, and as all the experts in the room, you really need to know what's the aim of this workshop. What are you here for? And it has to be clear that everyone understands this, that it's so that when you start looking at the hazards, those hazards have to be directly related to that endpoint. Don't worry about it, it's all right. I'll just get you to. So that first step is hazard identification. Okay? So what are the potential hazards in this particular case? And then once you have a whole list of hazards, so for example, you group all these hazards, and then you say, well, actually there's some overriding themes in those hazards. So what are those overriding themes? You will identify them, and look at the similarities, and possibly you'll have ones that are very, very similar, so then you start removing those replications and reducing and refining your hazard list. And then once you've done that, all those hazards need to be defined. You need to have a clear idea what each hazard means. And so when you're actually going to end up scoring them, everyone is clear in the whole room what each hazard means. Now, this is quite a lengthy process of identifying hazards. So there's already been some shortcuts done, and so you saw you got handed out just before a list of hazards already identified over the last couple of days. And so this is where you'll be coming in mainly to look at the consensus of, do you agree with those hazards that have already been identified? If not, that's when they'll be asking for your feedback. They'll also be asking, do you agree with the definitions? Are there any hazards missing that you think are important? So this is an important step. This is where you get to all your concerns and worries that comes up, and that hazards are mentioned, they're actually in the risk analysis. So if you've got concerns, that will mean other people have concerns as well. So that's when you make sure they're identified. Now, just from listening yesterday to all the introductions, we already know we have a diversity in the room, which is fantastic. That's where you want to ensure that you've got that diversity, so you can actually pick up the hazards from the different areas, your different fields. So you've got social people and ecological people and biological people. So you're making sure you're ensuring you've got that complete set of hazards before you start. And that the good thing about this type of methodology is you continually update these hazards. So if more hazards come along as you're thinking, if it's not just in the when you're looking at the hazards, if further on, like later tonight or something like that, if another hazard comes up, then you can always add it. It can be updated at any time. Next. So once the hazards have been decided and the definitions have been agreed on, then you'll be running a Bayesian network. So a Bayesian network is a useful tool because it's basically brings together all those hazards into a conceptual framework. And this is where you can combine your expert opinion and incorporate that into your model. So I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with them, but under each of these little boxes called nodes, there is probability tables, and this is your conditional probabilities. We'll be going in a bit more depth in this later on after lunch, but basically that is the model framework you'll be using over these next 2 days. Yeah. And so why have we chosen Bayesian networks? Why do we use Bayesian networks in risk analysis? So they're graphical. So immediately you've got a lot of people that would prefer to see something, to see an image rather than read text. So it's much easier to understand. If you've got people with limited statistical background to understand statistical your statistical tests like logistic regression or something like this. But this is much more practical for those non-statistical persons. It also captures that uncertainty. It identifies the causal relationship. So each of those arrows or links identify a causal relationship. So that node at the end has a causal relationship to those other nodes. And with this, you can describe the whole state. It captures your interactions, and you can identify those relationships with the probabilities behind them. Next. So the particular methodology that the core group will be using is with the expert elicitation is, I think it's already been mentioned about your groups, that you'll be working in groups. A group workshop is, the benefits of working in a group workshop is you've got a whole diverse range of ideas and experience that you can all have great discussions and share your knowledge. And with that, you can have a group consensus can be reached. Now, we use a particular methodology where we encourage that whole group participation to look at to be feedback and group consensus, but we also break people into smaller groups to ensure that everyone has their say and no one's dominating the room, and that encourages everyone to be part of this process. And that's really the whole point of you being here, to be part of this process. Next. So the steps in constructing a Bayesian network is you've got your hazards, you've grouped them, so this is that will form your model structure. And as I said, you're bringing together all your knowledge to create that model. You'll be using breakout groups of tables of 5 to 7 individuals that you can share your knowledge and experience in the different areas and get a chance to voice your opinion. Now, feedback is a very important step in any risk analysis, that it's encouraged all the way through. If you believe things are missing or something is not right, then this is important, where it can always be reviewed at all stages, edited where necessary, and any missing components added. As I emphasised, Bayesian network is basically based on your conditional probability, so that one of the main step in building a Bayesian network is populating those probability tables, which will be occurring tomorrow morning. Okay, so this is a quick example just of the risk analysis for the Australian risk analysis. Next. And just not to look in the detail, but you can see we ended up grouping these into similar themes. So you have an ecological theme, an economic theme, management theme, and a public health theme. Yes. And next, and under each of those nodes, you'll have a probability table. This is for other pathogens. You can see that they bring all your different variables together, and we'll be asking you of probability between 0 and 100. Next. So overall, the model building is meant to encourage everyone to participate. It's not just for 1 or 2 people. Everyone's here in this room to build this model and help step by step to make this risk analysis occur. Okay. After the BayesNet, you'll probably identified there's uncertainty in different areas and different hazards. So, and potential uncertainty that can arise is epistemic uncertainty, and this is where there's missing data, there's knowledge gaps that have been identified. And this may increase the uncertainty around a hazard. You also may have linguistic uncertainty, and this is where experts don't understand the question they're being asked, or don't understand the hazard definition and where it's going to the overall risk analysis. So we want to ensure that everyone understands the definitions. That's the important bit when you're running through your hazards, and everything is clear to ensure that you're going through the next stages. And then also any knowledge gaps are acknowledged. We're very lucky here when we have Scott O'Neill, who has answered a lot of those knowledge gaps. And also if there's any other researchers coming in, and this is an iterative process that will continually happen because we don't know everything. So next. So again, you just saw this before, it's the other way round. Overall risk is, we want to know the likelihood of a risk occurring. We want to, and if that risk does occur, what is the consequence of that risk occurring? So a Bayesian network will answer your likelihood, and then we'll also be asking you about, given that likelihood, what is the consequence that will happen? Oh, so that's the two we're worried about. So that's it. So it's just a very brief introduction to the methodology for what we'll be doing for what you'll be doing for your risk analysis. Any questions on that? Crystal clear. I will be going in more detail into the Bayesian networks. I will be going into more detail on the risk matrix that I just showed, and how to populate these conditional probabilities later on during the workshop. No questions? Okay. Questions? Okay.
Udami. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang semuanya. Hari ini saya ingin menyampaikan tata cara nanti kita akan melakukan risk assessment. Ya. Pakai asrat.
Kalau pakai asrat saya coba.
Sendiri aja. Atau pakai asrat aja deh.
Pakai asrat.
Iya. Baik, Bapak Ibu sudah mengetahui, ya? Di sini aja, di sini dulu aja. Mungkin tadi malam Bapak Ibu sudah mengetahui semua bahwa kehadiran para pakar hari ini nanti akan dikelompokkan dalam 4 grup. Yang pertama adalah ekologi, yang kedua adalah sosioekonomik, kemudian yang ketiga adalah public health. Yang keempat adalah manajemen mosquitoification, yang ini sudah dikelompokkan berdasarkan ekspertis masing-masing. Nah, mungkin saya perkenalkan dulu karena tadi malam diperkenalkan orangnya belum hadir. Silakan. Ini Ibu Profesor Dr. Aryati dari Universitas Airlangga. Dr. Tejo, Ibu Risalinda, Ibu Endang Sri Ratna, kemudian Ibu Sahri Bulan, Bapak Dr. Subagio. Berikutnya adalah kelompok sosioekonomi yang nanti akan dipandu oleh Ibu Profesor Dr. Damayanti Bukhori. Ini ada Prof. Johana, kemudian Bapak Teguh Triyono, Bapak Prof. Marsudi Triatmojo, kemudian Dr. Karlina Supeli, Bapak Ignatius Praptora Harjo, dan Profesor Andi. Berikutnya adalah yang ketiga adalah kelompok public health. Ini akan dipandu oleh Bapak Profesor Irawan Yusuf. Ini duduk di belakang ya Pak ya. Ya, ini kelompoknya adalah Bapak Dr. Thomas Suroso, Bapak Hajar Hasan, Ibu Profesor Parwati, kemudian Pak Profesor Usman Hadi, dan Profesor Agnes. Dan yang terakhir adalah kelompok Management of Mosquitoification. Ini akan dipandu oleh Bapak Profesor Hari. Ini anggotanya adalah Profesor Dr. Tribaskoro, tadi saya belum melihat ya. Kemudian Bapak Profesor Rosikon, alhamdulillah hari ini sudah hadir. Selamat datang Bapak. Kemudian Profesor Endang Sri Murni. Kemudian Ibu Dr. Susi Sofiana, Bapak Dr. Isra Wahid, dan Ibu Dr. Andi Atu juga kelihatannya hari ini tidak bisa hadir. Tapi nggak apa-apa ya, mudah-mudahan nanti bisa berjalan dengan baik. Ya, nah apa sih yang menjadi tugas tim pakar? Tadi sebenarnya sudah dijelaskan oleh Ibu Profesor Damayanti. Diharapkan Bapak Ibu berpartisipasi aktif memberikan kontribusi dalam risk assessment. Nanti ada identifikasi risiko, expert judgment yang semuanya tadi sudah dijelaskan oleh Ibu Justin. Nah, Bapak Ibu di sini silakan dengan leluasa untuk mengemukakan pendapatnya dengan bebas, tidak usah takut-takut begitu. Ya, berikutnya jadi nanti di dalam pekerjaan nanti karena akhirnya kita akan menyimpulkan menentukan nilai risk assessment atau risk value. Jadi tidak ada yang salah dan tidak ada yang benar. Kami akan percaya sepenuhnya pada expert yang hari ini menjadi konsideran. Kemudian setelah acara selesai nanti tim pakar yang 4 kelompok ini nanti harus memilih 1 orang untuk melaporkan hasil diskusi. Yang hasil diskusi yang akan kita lakukan hari ini dan besok. Ya, silakan. Nah, kira-kira nanti akan melakukan step-stepnya adalah ini, yang 1, 2 ini sudah dilakukan, yang ketiga Ini adalah identification and mapping of risk yang tadi sudah dijelaskan oleh Justin. Kemudian nanti Bapak Ibu akan menentukan likelihood assessment, consequence assessment, risk assessment, dan terakhir adalah reporting yang nanti akan kami lakukan berlima. Tapi sebelumnya nanti akan ada hasil dari diskusi dari tim 4 ini. Ya, terus. Nah, hari ini mulai jam 11.30 sampai 12.30. Ya, waktunya sebentar lagi. Bapak Ibu akan melakukan hazard list definition atau identification. Bahannya sudah dibagikan hari ini. Jadi bahannya yang ada tulisannya endpoint. Ya, jadi mohon nanti dipelajari dan nanti akan bekerja dalam grup sesuai dengan kelompoknya. Nah, kami sudah bersama-sama dengan tim dari expertise dari Monas dan dari Sesairo untuk mengidentifikasi. Nah, tugas Bapak Ibu nanti mempelajari kembali dan apakah yang sudah disusun seperti ini ada sesuatu yang kurang setuju atau perlu ditambahkan atau kurang sempurna. Nanti tugas Bapak Ibu di sini akan kami serahkan sepenuhnya. Kemudian nanti kalau sudah setuju akan kami bungkus, kami wrap gitu ya. Ini adalah hasil dari Bapak Ibu semua. Jadi ini adalah untuk memudahkan pekerjaan supaya tidak dari nol. Kami sudah menyusunnya berdasarkan hasil risk assessment dari Vietnam, kemudian dari Australia dan juga dari tim kami yang selama 2 hari kemarin kami ditatar. Ya. Kemudian nanti jam 12 masih hari ini ada 3 kali diskusi bahkan ya, 13.45 sampai 14.45 ini ada development of risk matrix. Jadi nanti dari hasil identifikasi nanti kita akan membuat, Bapak Ibu akan membuat risk matrix yang nanti akan didiskusikan bersama. Kemudian jam 15.30 sampai 17 ini ada feedback on Bayesian network yang juga nanti akan dipandu oleh tim dari Sesairo. Ya, kemudian besok masih ada diskusi lagi yaitu jam 11 sampai jam 12 yaitu group reporting on conditional probabilities ya yang nanti didasarkan atas hasil dari Bayesian net mapping. Kemudian jam 12 sampai 12.05 akan melakukan revisit consequence hazard. Jadi direview kembali apa yang sudah diperoleh oleh Bapak Ibu. Kemudian jam 12 sampai 15 sampai jam 2. Oh, salah ini ya. Salah ya Mas ya. Ya, ada di jadwal Pak, ini kebetulan salah ketik ya. Intinya adalah terakhir nanti melakukan wrapping, melakukan kesimpulan apa yang diperoleh oleh Bapak Ibu hari ini. Baik, itu saja dari saya. Mudah-mudahan ini bisa bermanfaat bagi Bapak Ibu semua untuk mengawali diskusi hari ini. Terima kasih Bu Dami.
Itu masih jauh dari sempurna. Nah, hari ini sebetulnya ingin mematangkan hazard itu. Apakah memang semua sudah tercakup atau ada yang masih kurang atau ada yang perlu dibuang dan sebagainya. Dan kemudian itu adalah dasar dari semuanya. Ya, jadi tolong untuk tahap ini sampai dengan jam, sebenarnya kita udah ini ya, coba kita lihat 1,5 jam apa yang bisa kita lakukan untuk melihat grouping ini dan apakah definisinya sudah oke, dan kalau masih ada waktu nanti bisa ada presentasi sebentar mungkin 5 menit 10 menit gitu, apakah masih sama atau sudah berubah. Jadi silahkan dimulai Bapak Ibu semua, masing-masing meja sudah ada fasilitatornya. Sebetulnya sosial ekonomi ini orangnya sedikit, kalau ada yang mau pindah mau boleh, tapi kalau tidak juga. Oke, selamat bekerja.
Lead to increase in genetic diversity.
Kita kan mau bikin baru, ini mau bikin nomor 14.
14 sedikit baru. Jadi tambahan item baru untuk ekologi itu 14, change in biodiversity.
Kita lecture saja, lecture. Nah ini atau jadi apa kira-kira kamu? Definisi katanya tadi political interest jadi kan gini, hospital density, what is the likelihood that temporary density? Nah bisa saja kita, what is the likelihood that population density gini gitu. Kalau itu dampaknya iya nanti Prof. Thomas berpresentasi, saya punya usulan ini, tapi tolong saya dibantu definisinya gimana, gitu. Iya, definisi. Tapi kita definisinya oke. Mungkin satu lagi, ya silakan. Misalnya, apakah ini satu intervensi, terus sudah ada sebelumnya intervensi insektisida, harus tidak boleh diganggu apa yang sudah menjadi intervensi
Diubah sama sekali.
Jadi belum kan karena jadi kita kan juga sama Inggris juga weather control juga ya sulit dikendalikan.
of Wolbachia hydrosensitivity in the environment improve.
Kemudian, oke. Saya juga ingin tahu behind everything.
Mixed language probably. Terima kasih Bu Dami, thank you. We have gone through the socio-economic effect, which is now we change that according to our cultural and community structure in Indonesia. So we gave the name of the title, Economic and Socio-Cultural Effects. And we are talking not just about tourism, real estate, labor, but also we count the religious human intervention. With the economic effect, okay, this is still the same as before. We have the healthcare, still the same. Definition is what is the likelihood that the cost of general community healthcare will increase over time as a result of the release of Wolbachia and Aedes aegypti. I think will be highlighted here. So the changes that we have on number 28, that's what we call social behavioral change. So this is the release of Wolbachia and Aedes aegypti leads to negative social behaviors and deterioration of local wisdom. E.g., social conflict, decreased community participation, and social isolation. This is based on our visit to the field yesterday. We can see that the people who actually opposed to the deployment, we see it as they are isolated within the community. And also we have a number 28, that we afraid of the deterioration of local wisdom. For example, in the past, the community have community work, what we call gotong royong, for example. And that because, or based on the common problem within the community. And if the common problem has been addressed by the new technology, that's what we analyze as a risk, is the loss of the local wisdom. And number 29, the opinion conflict, we did some adjustment. So here the definition is there are contradictory opinions in communities based on different knowledge and belief about Wolbachia Aedes aegypti. What we saw from the field, from the visit, we see there is a different opinion based on different knowledge. Some people, they really know about Wolbachia, the other don't. And also, some people believe that this is good, the other not. Number 30, we have still the same adverse of media. And number 31, we added the social fear. That's a collective mental confusion due to unintended consequences without assurance. So some of those individuals and groups, they actually would like to join unless if there is an assurance what will be happen to them after the deployment. And 32, we have the immigration. We include immigration. because in the Nogotirto area that we visited yesterday, there is some different opinion on the deployment of Wolbachia between the local people who actually born and live in Nogotirto area and the people who actually come and then lives in the area from the outside Nogotirto. This could happen in any places in Indonesia where people have been migrated to that area. And 32, this is a typical Indonesia. You won't find that in Australia or in other places, what we call scapegoating. So we try to find a good word. I think this is the good word, the scapegoating there. So there is a negative collective defense mechanism due to the failure of new technology. So they gather and they try to oppose to whatever the new technology introduced for the people or in the area. So that is the changes that we have on risk analysis points. And what we have to do more, Ibu Dami? What is the next? What next? I think that's all that we have. We will try to do some scoring after lunch because the fuel already diminishing until the end. Some minor typology correction, we will do it afterwards.
Thank you. Justin, there was a typo. The opinion conflict should have been changed into social conflict, not opinion conflict. Yeah. What more, Ibu Karlina, yang tadi kelupaan? Decrease community participation and increase social isolation. Decrease community participation and increase social isolation. Okay, great. So that's the hard work of Group 1. Group 2, Ibu Upi, are you ready? Pak Bagio, monggo.
Cek. Terima kasih atas waktunya. Saya mungkin nanti hanya menggunakan sedikit bahasa Inggris, banyak bahasa Indonesianya, nggak apa-apa ya, mudah-mudahan bisa mengerti. Sebab kalau saya menjelaskan dalam bahasa Inggris kadang-kadang salah persepsi nanti. Baiklah, saya mulai saja bahwa kami dari bidang ekologi ingin menyampaikan hasil diskusi kami tentang hal-hal yang menimbulkan bahaya bagi ekologi dengan adanya pelepasan nyamuk Aedes aegypti berwolbachia ini. Yang pertama, density. What is the likelihood that the average density of Wolbachia Aedes aegypti? Sorry. Yeah. What is the likelihood that the average density of Wolbachia Aedes aegypti, for example, average number of our household, will be higher than would occur for naturally occurring Aedes aegypti? This could be a result of changes in factors such as fecundity, longevity, population dynamics. So this is increase. In this condition, the average density increases. This is the hazard for the ecology. And what is it? Same of average density remains the same. We select will be increased. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yang berubah saja Pak, yang sama nggak usah.
Oh ya sudah. Okay. Yang dua sama juga. Ya, lain. Yang nomor 5. Vertebrate including human transfer of Wolbachia genes what is the likelihood of the horizontal transfer of Wolbachia or some of their genome from Wolbachia Aedes aegypti to a vertebrate species including humans? Yes, likely. I mean, change of horizontal transfer to a vertebrate including human. Unlikely, little or no chance of horizontal transfer to an vertebrate including humans. No change atau no chance? Change, yeah, no change. Yeah. Sorry, little or no change of horizontal transfer. Yeah, okay. Next, number 7. Transfer of other arboviruses or parasites. Wolbachia Aedes aegypti can transfer other emerging arboviruses or parasites, for example, Zika or filariasis. Yeah, okay. Okay, same transfer occurs, no transfer. Number 8. This is our another our new option. Increase filarial fitness. Wolbachia Aedes aegypti can enhance the filarial fitness. Answer is yes, increase the filarial fitness, and no, unchange the filarial fitness. This is artinya penambahan adanya cacing Wolbachia, Wolbachia Aedes aegypti dapat meningkatkan fitness dari cacing filaria di dalam tubuh nyamuk Aedes aegypti. Kemungkinan ya atau tidak. Ya. Ini tambahan kami. Berikut nomor 11. 11 dalam ini mungkin nomornya berubah ya. Karena ada tambahan tadi. Di sini nomor 10 ya. Replacement of dengue vectors. The release of Wolbachia Aedes aegypti results in reduced mosquito population, even possible local extinction, and other mosquito vector species. For example, Aedes albopictus may emerge to occupy this ecological niche. The answer is yes, new species move into the occupied niche, or no change in the dengue vector species. Yeah, the next. Yeah. Increase, changes in biodiversity. The release of Wolbachia Aedes aegypti results in change of genetic diversity of Aedes aegypti species in nature. Occurs change of genetic diversity and no change of the genetic diversity. Okay. And then number 16, geographical distribution change. The release of Wolbachia Aedes aegypti results in changing geographical distribution of Aedes vector. Occur change of geographical distribution of Aedes vector and no change of geographical distribution of Aedes vector. Next is, yeah, I think enough is our presentation for ecological hazard. Thank you.
Terima kasih Bapak. Oh, ada tambahan?
Belum.
Ada 3 yang belum disampaikan.
Tapi ini tadi sudah sampaikan tadi.
Oh, sudah.
Yang warna merah tadi.
Oh iya,
ya.
Oke.
Terima kasih, thank you.
Tepuk tangan buat kelompok 2, buat ecology. Ke Pak Nandi ya.
Nanti kita pun.
Iya. Silahkan.
Thank you. I'd like to present the results from our group from the aspect of public health, the question about the feeding frequency, it's accepted, no changes. Dengue evolution, there is, we question about the evolution that until now we haven't got any report about the likeliness of evolution because no proof. So however, we should notice about mutation. Maybe not evolution, but how about the mutation? Dengue transmission is accepted like this. Dengue vector competence, what's the likelihood that Wolbachia Aedes aegypti becomes more capable vector of dengue virus than the natural Aedes? This accepted like this. The next question, number 35. Increased biting. Increased biting, there is some confusing between increased biting and feeding frequency. So maybe, yeah, we should clarify between the feeding frequency and increased biting, because the feeding frequency, we think that's for the male and female mosquitoes, while increased biting, maybe it's more related to the female mosquitoes. And host preference. For host preference, what's the likelihood that Wolbachia Aedes will feed on greater variety of host animals than the natural Aedes? And there's some question, because this related to zoonotic transmission. The host preference, whether it is human only or maybe after Wolbachia transfected Aedes, then the host preference will be extended to animals as well. And there is no report until now. And the next question about mosquito density. We propose to add the mating competition in the environment. When we release the Wolbachia Aedes in the environment, how about the mating competition? And then the next, nuisance biting, it's accepted as it is. The next question. For the nuisance, we propose that there is a need for a clinical trial in the area where we release the Wolbachia Aedes, whether there is an increase or of nuisance or not. And the next question, non-dengue vector competence. It is accepted like that, but we need further proof or study about the non-dengue vector competence, because in Indonesia there are many vector-borne diseases, and in that area, in some area, there are more than one vector-borne disease. So we should study. And the next question, standard of public health. Is okay, yeah. It's already included in the nuisance of biting as well, from the question number 38. The next question, number 41, Wolbachia fitness. What's the likelihood that a genetic change in Wolbachia will cause a fitness change in Aedes aegypti? This accepted, yeah. And number 42, question number 42, more cases Wolbachia infected Aedes aegypti causes higher number of dengue cases than natural occurring Aedes aegypti. We would like to add about the this not clear, I think. Yeah, please explain.
Pengendalian dan pencegahan penyakit, mereka memiliki data kasus denggi di wilayah pelepasan itu berbeda karena ada peningkatan 2 kali lipat, sedangkan data dari EDP itu data kasusnya menurun. Mungkin ini dibuat make it clear dulu aja. Terima kasih.
Kami klarifikasikan. Terima kasih. Sebenarnya ini juga sudah terkait dengan isu surveillance, sudah kami presentasikan ke Subdit Arbovirus, ada Bu Direktur waktu itu, dan sudah clear. Sebenarnya inilah ada 2 hal. Pertama, karena sistem surveillance kami berbeda. Yang sistem surveillance yang digunakan oleh program itu adalah sistem surveillance yang berasal dari rumah sakit, KDRS, sementara kami pasif, sementara kami menggunakan sistem surveillance aktif, di mana setiap hari kami mencari pasien dengan febrile illness dan kemudian melakukan diagnosis denggi dengan RDT, Rapid Diagnostic Test. Itu yang pertama. Yang kedua adalah definisi kasusnya. Definisi kasus yang ada di surveillance-nya program adalah yang dicatat dan dilaporkan adalah demam berdarah denggi. Sementara kami menggunakan dengue fever. Jadi baik yang dengginya saja itu tanpa demam berdarah itu kami laporkan. Tetapi yang membuat menjadi berbeda adalah luasan wilayahnya. Karena yang dilihat oleh yang ditangkap di dalam surveillance program pada level puskesmas, dan itu yang memang pada level itu ada peningkatan kasus. Sementara puskesmas itu misalnya di Sleman, Gampeng 1 itu terdiri dari 4 desa.
Bapak maaf Pak ya, mungkin kita fokus kepada ini, sebetulnya bukan menjelaskan apa yang terjadi ya, kita kan sedang analisis risiko gitu. Jadi
mungkin
bisa diskusi sendiri saja mungkin tadi ya.
Nggak apa-apa. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. Ya. Masih ada tambahan dari kelompok public health?
Yeah, the next question, number 43, increase severity of age profile of dengue patients, accepted like that. Another question we'd like to ask, the population density, we mean the human population density in area with Wolbachia mosquito compared to area without Wolbachia Aedes, yeah. Is there any influence that the Wolbachia Aedes aegypti to the control program have influence on the control program? Specifically, we address the parameter free larva index, because if we release the Wolbachia Aedes, then the population of Aedes aegypti will increase, then so that means the free larva index will be even less. Ya.
Efeknya apa itu kurang jelas Pak?
Saya mau clarify, mungkin population density itu karena rada ketidakjelasan kita dalam risk assessment ini. Tapi yang jelas itu barangkali nomor 44 itu yang kedua ini. Pelepasan ini akan menjadi kontradiktori dengan indikator yang nanti dipakai oleh program dalam PSN itu. Ya, karena kita melepaskan satu populasi, ya, sedangkan indikator kan akan menambah.
Oke, jadi impact-nya adalah kepada program gitu ya.
Impact-nya akan pada program indikator terutama ya. Indikator yang dipakai oleh program pemerintah. Kalau impact-nya sendiri, saya kira tidak akan berpengaruh, karena justru malah mungkin akan saling mendukung ya, akan beri komplementari dengan apa yang sudah dilaksanakan. oleh pemerintah. Akan tapi indikator program saja akan berpengaruh oleh ini. Karena dengan dilepasnya itu ABC, angka bebas jentik, itu akan menjadi turun.
Turun, Pak?
Angka bebas jentik, akhirnya indeks larva. Indeks larvanya akan meningkat gitu ya. Sedangkan untuk ini terpengaruh gitu. Ya.
Do you want to say something?
Yeah.
So
On
there is
the
already
source
a program in the field ongoing with indicators,
Yeah.
with the intervention of the deployment that will affect the result from indicator of those.
Terakhir untuk manajer, Ibu.
Nah, udah digatekke mengko nek ana sing kurang penjelasane dibantu. Soal pakar malah sing masalah engko soal bahasane. Iya. Iya. Saya mulai. Judul dulu. Our team have to discuss about management of factor, and then after discussing, we propose many risks that be happen in the long time future. The first thing. Because people very trust with releasing Aedes aegypti Wolbachia to decreasing the transmission of dengue, and then maybe will appear that people or increasing of complacency, and then if it is happen, will cause decrease efficacy of factor control. This is the first argument of the risk. And then the second one, what we think behavior changing is increasing insecticide resistance, and then increase biting rate, and increase difficulty in factor control. And then from 3 items will be explained in the next slide, one by one. Increase insecticide resistance. What is the likelihood that the establishment of Wolbachia in Aedes aegypti increase resistance to mosquito? Is it to insecticide, yeah. And then increase biting rate. What is the likelihood what Wolbachia in Aedes aegypti will take increased biting rate? And then the third, increased difficulty in factor control. What is the likelihood of changes in breeding place of Wolbachia in Aedes aegypti so that control effort will become more difficult? And then any strain selection of Aedes aegypti. What is the likelihood that in the future Aedes aegypti with higher factorial capacity will emerge replacing Wolbachia Aedes aegypti? And more dengue infection. What is the likelihood of increased transmission of dengue virus after the establishment of Wolbachia? Then about risk on transmission of pathogen other than dengue. What is the likelihood of transmission of pathogen other than dengue as the fitness of the Wolbachia in the environment improves? Example, there is a reporting that any disease, it's called melioidosis, also transmitted by Aedes aegypti, and this disease is a zoonosis, so can be transmitted between animal and human. And then, I think it is enough for our presentation, with different performance with previous presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Bu Ani. You can discuss that.
What we purpose this risk must be pertimbangkan for the penggunaannya apa? For control of mosquito and transmission of dengue.
Okay.
Like this.
Pardon? Oh, okay, we added one more point. Okay, Pak Teguh want to say something about, and there's some addition from this table.
And I think if I saw there is a overlap between a group, yeah, like this. Yeah, thank you.
We can read that out.
Yes.
Yes, we added one more point, number 34, for social and economic and socio-cultural. That is a class action. The legal consequences arise from individual, group of individual, community, civil society organization on the release of Wolbachia infected Aedes aegypti and its possible effect.
Wow. Okay. So there's one hunch. That's great.
It happened yesterday. Okay, based from the information that they went to the field yesterday, they think that there will be another factor that we should add in, and that's a class action by local community. Social, yeah, sorry, social, yeah, social. So, okay, so that's very good. We finished the hazard and the definition, so that's already one step. Yes, Paul. Yes, yeah. That's what you will be showing later, right? Yeah.
Resistennya bukan resisten
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Mungkin kita istirahat dulu 1 jam. Makan siang. Terima kasih banyak nih, maaf sekali sampai melewati makan siang. Jadi silahkan Bapak Ibu makan siang dan sholat, kemudian kita kumpul lagi jam 2 mungkin ya, atau 2:10. Makan siangnya di mana panitia? Di restoran. Makan siangnya di restoran, kita kembali lagi ke sini jam 2 atau 2:10. Barang akan aman, dikunci, ada yang menjaga. Kalau perlu saya yang jaga, Ibu. Saya tidak perlu makan. Oke, Bapak Ibu, silahkan makan siang. Terima kasih lagi dan sampai ketemu setelah makan siang.